What's up guys, Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors, and today we got a battle between the big brother and the code black goose and the little brother and the code black duck. Stay tuned. Now I'd asked last week if this is a test you'd guys like to see, the code black duck being a full and the code black goose being an extra full, side by side at 40 yards. If you guys wanted to see that, I had a ton of people wanting to see it. Now let's break down these chokes real quick before we get into this test. Now, Patternmaster, they do things a little different over there, and I love it. These two chokes, the difference between them, as you can see right here, is the length sticking out of the barrel. As you can see, the code black goose is slightly longer. Code black duck is slightly shorter. Now they do that. The goose is really made for 3.5 shells. The duck is really made for 3-inch. Now we've tested the goose with 3.5s, 3s, and even turkey loads, and it has excelled. The code black duck, I still got to test with turkey loads. I haven't done that yet. But this shot 3-inch shells well. 3.5, it didn't pattern as good as the goose, as that's why this is longer out of the barrel, to control that pattern. Now, the other thing that's different is this is an extra full in the code black goose. The duck is a full. This is the choke that I use early season goose when we're not hunting ducks. I want that tight core pattern. It's the code black goose is in my gun. It shoots the 3s phenomenally. Now, the code black duck, once early season goose is done, I switch to this because we can shoot ducks and geese, and I like the pattern this throws for both. So really, there's not a bad option here. It's just whatever your gun likes, what you like out of a pattern, either would work. I will say, in my opinion, the best all around, if you were to buy one or the other, I'd get the duck, because I guarantee you this is going to throw awesome patterns with TSS for turkeys. This patterns extremely well for geese and ducks, and the goose is slightly too tight, in my opinion, may not be yours, for ducks. However, it is exceptional for geese and turkey. So really, both of these are awesome chokes. They're versatile chokes, and I think they're underrated. What we're doing today is I'm going to slap these in the Franchi Affinity 3. I'm going to shoot a pattern each at 40. And the load I'm shooting is something that shot extremely well in the code black goose, but I never shot it out of the duck. So this will be a perfect time to do it. That load is right here. This is the Federal Black Cloud TSS. Now this is the new wad, so you can shoot it out of both of these chokes. Just to address that, I know I'm going to get a comment on it either way, but you can shoot this out of either choke. Now Patternmaster does make a Black Cloud choke for the old wad, and those chokes are awesome as well. If you want to see that, drop a comment below and we'll do it. But this load is a 12 gauge 3-inch. It's 1450 ounce and a quarter payload. Now it's 3 steel and 9-shot TSS. They do offer a, I can't remember what the breakdown, I think it's 3-shot steel and 7-shot TSS. If I'm wrong, comment below, let me know. So we could hunt with it here. This box we cannot hunt with in New York. So make sure whenever TSS is in the mix, check your local state game laws. Make sure you can shoot that size before you buy. Don't waste your money. So let's get this in. We'll shoot the goose first, then we'll shoot the duck, then we'll go down, check them out side by side, and just see where the difference is. I'm expecting the goose to be tighter, the duck to give a better all-around pattern is what I'm thinking, but you never really know until you put it on paper. So let's get to it. Like I said, I got 2 targets down there, 40 yards. Got my Franchi Affinity 3. We'll shoot the goose first on the right target, and then we'll shoot the duck on the left, and we'll see just what happens. Okay, so first up, once again, Black Cloud TSS Premium, a blend of 3 steel and 9 TSS. Franchi Affinity 3, first up is the Code Black Goose. This is an extra full, designed truly for 3.5s, but it shoots 3s really well. So this is the first. We'll shoot that, actually correction, we'll shoot the left target, seeing how I think this is going to be a tighter pattern. We'll shoot the left target first, take this choke out, put the duck in, and then shoot the same load on the right target. So let's get to it. Oh baby, that looks good. That looks good. That ducky looks smoked down there. Now let's take out the goose. I love that sound. Put in the duck. Don't you go nowhere, goose. Make sure she's snug. Now, let me grab a shell. There she is. Now the right target, we got same load, 40 yards still. Code Black duck, which is a full choke. Let's shoot that one, and let's see how the brothers stack up against each other. Let's see. Also, before I shoot, the duck is designed for 3-inch shells. So we'll see if there really is an edge between them or if they're both lights out. Let's get to it. That looks smoked too. Yeah. So to the naked eye, as I'm self-filming, so I don't have the reaction behind the camera. That's my favorite part, by the way, is seeing it through the camera, seeing it smoke it. So let's get down there and check them out and see how they stack up side by side and see what kind of difference in patterns they throw so you guys can make a decision between the goose and the duck. Personally, I think you could just hunt with a duck, but if you can get both, why not? Let's get down there. All right, so I got both Sharpied, and they're pretty dang similar, I will say that. Now keep in mind, like I said in the beginning, this was the Code Black duck and the Code Black goose out of my Franchi Affinity 3. Now mind you, the Code Black goose is designed to excel with 3.5s, although we have seen great performance with 3-inch shells nonetheless. The duck is designed for 3-inch shells, so there could be an edge there just by design. That Affinity 3 only chambers 3-inch, so I can't test 3.5 with it, but we do have guns that we can do that with if you'd like to see it, so we can do it. But let's jump right into it. Once again, that was Federal Black Cloud TSS Premium. It's a blend of 3-shot steel and 9-shot TSS, 1.25 ounce payload, 3-inch shell. So let's look at the goose first, then we'll look at the duck, and then I'll jump behind the camera and show both closer up and really compare on them and see what you guys think of the performance, because looking at it right now, they're extremely similar. Let's break it down. Now this pattern here is a Code Black goose with said load, and you can see the core is absolutely smoked. I mean, you have tons of hits, both 3s and 9s on this duck. This is a 12x18 target. I mean, you are covering that bad boy. There's only one void right here. Other than that, it's uniform all the way around. And then when you jump out to the full pattern, you can see it opens up a little bit more. You got shots coming up top. You got a good pattern all the way around. But for the most part, all your shot is very close to around that 12x18. You do have flyers, but you're going to expect that in waterfowl more than turkey, so you have to change your mindset. This is an extremely good pattern for waterfowl because you want a really good full pattern with a lot of core density, and that's exactly what you got out of that setup. This was impressive. I was curious to see if this would be tighter than the duck. It remains to be seen. We'll see what you guys think. But this is an incredible pattern right here. Like I said, there's no real voids outside of this one right here. Other than that, you have a ton of hits on the duck itself and a really good pattern all the way around. So let's look at the duck, analyze that, and like I said, I'm self-filming, so I'll jump behind the camera and then we'll really break it down and show both up close, allowing you guys to make a decision what you thought. And make sure to comment below and let me know what you thought, because I love hearing your feedback too, because we all see the same pattern differently. That's the beauty of it. So let's look at the duck. Okay, so here we have the Code Black duck, same load. And I'm going to say the core pattern on this is a lot tighter than the goose. I mean, look at all these hits just right here. For reference, that's a 5-inch circle, that's a 10. The target is 12 by 18. And you can see just how many are in the 5 alone at 40 yards. I mean, you have a ton of TSS right there, a ton of 3s. You can see the size difference. And then you kick out to 10 and you still have a ton. And you still pepper that 12 by 18 target with the duck. I mean, that shot exceptional. Then when you get out to the full pattern, it is very similar to the Code Black goose. In the fact that you have a lot of shot just off that 12 by 18. I will say the full pattern is a little bit more open in the duck, as you would expect, going from an extra full to a full, but you have less flyers. It's a more uniform pattern all the way around. You only have, I'd say, really one void being right here. The rest is just the edge of the pattern. So I mean, this is an extremely uniform pattern with extreme pattern density. I mean, that joker is smoked at 40 yards. You have so many hits just right here. That's lights out. That's kind of scary tight at 40. Like we always say, most of our shots are 25 and under. We don't hunt big bodies of water for ducks. But for geese, this would be outstanding early season. But let me jump behind the camera. We'll break them down side by side. I'll show you each zoomed in so you can really get a good look at both. We can build our opinions on this test. Okay, so looking first at the Code Black goose, zooming in. There's a zoomed in look at the core. Really good pattern density. It covers the whole thing. No real voids on the target itself except for the one in the top left. Now kicking over to the duck. This is Code Black duck, same load. You can see a lot tighter core pattern. Not really any voids, maybe one just below the armpit of the duck, if you will. But extreme core pattern density. I think the duck gets the edge on that one. Now looking at the full pattern, you can see all the shot around the target, which is 12 by 18 as I stated, and the full pattern after. You can see a lot of that shot is just outside that 12 by 18. Not too many flyers. There's a couple up top, a couple on the bottom, but not bad. Now the duck, just outside, you can see there's a ton of hits just outside, just like the goose. But they're opened up a little bit more. It's a little less tight in the full pattern in the duck over the goose. But still, I mean, you're getting a ton of shot all over that target with no real voids in the duck. The duck has a tighter core and a little bit more leeway in the full pattern, whereas the goose has a tighter full pattern and a little bit more leeway in the core. So either of these would work extremely well for ducks and geese, depending on how you hunt and where you hunt. But both of these would be lights out. Early season goose are just goose specific hunts. Now for ducks, I think both of them are a tad too tight for my liking and my applications of hunts. But here they are side by side. You can see the core difference between them and then the full pattern difference. Either of these are lights out, but it's kind of weird seeing that the goose has a less dense core pattern but a tighter full pattern with the same load than the duck, and the duck has a tighter core pattern and a more lenient full pattern. It's kind of funny how that works, but needless to say, both these patterns are extremely similar. There's not a giant difference between the two, And keep in mind, the duck is designed for 3-inch shells. The goose is designed for 3.5. So that could be where our difference is in the core. But drop your comments below. Let me know what you thought of these two chokes side by side with the same load at 40 yards out of my Affinity 3. Let me know which one you like better. For me, I really like the duck because you have that tight core pattern, but then you have a lenient full pattern. So at 40 yards, you're going to smoke them. However, the goose has a more lenient core, still is a smoked duck, but it does have a tighter full pattern. So you can't really say one is better than the other here. It just comes down to what choke, which pattern fits what you're looking for out of your setup. Now for us, like we always say, for ducks, we hunt small little swamps, small little duck holes. I mean, we may get a shot at 40 yards a couple times during the season, but it's rare. Most of the time they're right in our face. So we don't really strive for that tight of a pattern at 40 yards because, as you guys know, as you work in towards the target, that pattern you see at 40 is going to condense down quite a bit. So that we're going to be, both of these, we'd be shooting real tight in our hunting applications. So you have to go by what you hunt, your range of shots on average when you're looking at pattern density and what you want out of your setup, because when you're that tight, you can miss ducks really easy. They're very fast. So having a lenient pattern close in is not a bad thing. It just depends on how you guys hunt, where you hunt. This will be part 1 of the duck versus the goose. We will be doing TSS turkey loads out of both as well. And I'd like to test more waterfowl loads like straight steel, bismuth, etc. out of each and see how that performance changes and really break down where the difference is between the duck and the goose. In my opinion, if you can buy both, I would. The goose is lights out for geese. It's a little too tight for my liking for ducks. And that duck is just all around. It is just a badass choke, guys. That cold black duck, you can use it for doves, you can use it for turkey, ducks, geese. I mean, it throws just exceptional patterns all the time and it's not picky on the loads either from testing. We've seen it shoot a lot of things really well. We're pushing for that 10K subscriber mark. That's a huge feat for the channel. I never thought we'd get there, to be completely honest. I was happy when we hit 1,000, but I love how many people are loving the content and spreading BCO, and as BCO Nation grows, it's just insane to me. I absolutely love it. I never thought this was going to occur, but I'm thankful it did. And like we've said, we want to give a giveaway that matches that feat. We're going to give something away. A lot of comments for a 20 gauge turkey gun. As I said in the last video, whatever you guys want, something that's going to be beneficial to you afield is what we want to give away. We don't want to just get a giant compilation of a bunch of stuff. We want to gear our giveaways to helping you afield based on our testing and based on what you want. That is how we do giveaways. We want to help you as much as we can with a giveaway. I really do like the idea of a 20 gauge turkey gun though, because as you guys know from our tests, the 20 gauge is lights out with TSS. So maybe we'll do a 20 gauge, a reflex sight on it, and some different brands of ammo for TSS, so you guys can pattern and figure out what you like out of that setup and still have loads to take afield. Like I said, we are beyond thankful for every one of you gents and ladies who have subscribed to the channel and have stuck around, dropped comments, shared the content, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. And really, we're all learning together here. The number one thing that I've learned from all this testing and starting BCO is how little I really knew about bow hunting setups, turkey setups, waterfowl setups. I thought I did, but after this testing, man, I'm learning a lot. So we're learning right there with you. I hope this content is yielding as much information as we are getting out of it for you guys. And as always, guys, drop those comments below. Let us know what you want to see on the channel. As you can see, we read all those comments. You guys know I respond as soon as possible to each individual comment. we read them and we base what we should film based off comments. We want to film content that is going to help you, not just random content, although we do throw that in as well. We want to aid the viewers, the subscribers, as much as we can. So with all that said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell right next to it, turn the notifications to all so you do not miss out on our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday uploads, as well as all the random content weekly that we post. We do not limit ourselves to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We want to get you as many tests as we can every week to really spread as much information and honest tests as we can here on the channel. That's what we're all about. No BS, performance talks, the rest walks. All we care about is what happens here. This is Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors. Filming's done for today. Time to go work on the food plots. Hopefully they're not swamped out. It's been raining non-stop. This is the longest we've went without rain for almost 3 weeks now. There's some serious flooding around here, at least around my house. It's been wet. So hopefully we can get that done. But guys, as always, we'll catch you on the next one.